Greetings everyone and welcome to Kids Talk Radio. Who have we got here today?
Hi Bob, my name is Neil Stephen Klayman. I'm the author of Boris Ate A Thesaurus, and we are excited, delighted, thrilled to be here today.
Well, you're not a couple of kids, but...
We act like a couple of kids.
Yeah, you do. You do. And could you tell our audience about yourself and what role do you play in all of this?
My name is Barry M. Chung, and I am the illustrator of Boris Ate A Thesaurus.
So you mean to tell me that the two of you guys work together, and you do, can I see that book?
Please do.
And you have put together this wonderful book, choice of beautiful colors, great artwork, and there's a story behind all of this.
There is. This is about a boy who speaks in synonyms, and Boris is the coolest kid ever because we've never met a boy who speaks in synonyms before. And the reason that Boris speaks in synonyms is because Boris ate a thesaurus. And why would he do that? What was he thinking? And that's the story of our book, why Boris ate a thesaurus and what he discovers.
So you published this book when?
The book was published in 2007.
So it was published in 2007.
2007 by Carson DeLosa, who's a big educational company.
Mm-hmm.
And the book quickly sold out. By 2010, the book was out of print. And the California Teachers Association contacted us in 2011, said, "We love your book, and we'd like to make it a book of the year for Read Across America." And so Barry and I were able to bring the book back.
So do you get to go into schools and talk to kids about this?
Oh yeah, we do a lot of events with schools. We visit this book is probably for first through third graders, mm-hmm. So we do a lot of events with different elementary schools, public schools as well as private schools. And we read the book, we do a reading, and then we take a question and answer from the kids, and then I'll do an art demonstration and teach the kids how to draw Boris.
Oh, so it becomes a nice little school event.
Right.
Yeah.
We get a lot of interesting questions over the years. We've been asked if we're famous. We say, we're not famous. They say, are you rich? We say, no, we're famous.
There you go.
I think the best question that we were ever asked is if we read this book when we were young. Oh. And I said we would have, but we had to grow up to create it.
Now, both of you have been invited to participate in the Orange County Department of Education's Young Authors Faire. Could you tell us a little bit about the role you'll play in the Young Authors Faire and bring us up to speed?
Sure. We're going to do a presentation of Boris. We're going to do a reading. And then Barry, again, is going to teach everyone how to draw their very own Boris. And the kids have come up with incredible creations. We have so many Borises. We're often sent drawings from schools, and we naturally keep those, or treasure those. All the different Borises that have been drawn over the 5-6 years that the book's been in publication.
So on April the 21st, we could all go to the Westfield Mall and actually get to talk to the authors and illustrators.
That's correct. We'll be there.
Well, that'll be a treat. I want to invite you all out to the Young Authors Faire, and this is another example of the great talent that we're going to have there on that day. What did you think when you heard the robot reading your book?
Oh, it's pretty amazing. I think it's just a matter of time before he's going to be drawing, too.
Oh, boy. That's going to be something. A little later on in the show, you're going to do a little drawing for us because, I had the opportunity to look through this wonderful book, and the illustrations in here are just absolutely magnificent.
Thank you. Barry's very talented.
So, as we move forward here, what did it take for this book to come from 0 to 100?
Well, we often get asked what was the idea behind the book. Barry and I both worked for Mattel, the big toy company. Mm-hmm. I named toys for Mattel, and over the years I got the name Klayman became my nickname.
Oh, boy.
And Barry's an illustrator, and Barry used to do all the artwork for the packaging. So we first met at Mattel many years ago. And the idea came for this. I used to name toys, and I was always going through thesauruses because it's the best place to find words. And I decided one day that I could save a lot of time if I just ate a thesaurus. Of course, I never did, but that's where the idea came from the book. And I called Barry and I said, Barry, start sketching. And he said, okay. And he hung up the phone and then he called me back and said, sketch what? And I said, Boris. We've got Boris Ate A Thesaurus. And Barry did an amazing job and brought him to life. He can tell you all the illustrations that we did before we actually landed on this Boris.
Now, could either of you two tell me about some of the awards and some of the recognition that you've received for this work?
Sure. Boris was recently honored by the California Teachers Association as a Book of the Year, Read Across America Book of the Year for 2012. And we had the opportunity to go to many of the state conventions and met hundreds, maybe thousands or millions of teachers. And got to, it's just a wonderful experience. Boris is now part of the curriculum in schools all across, not just California, but throughout the country.
Oh,
Boris is being used in schools.
Now, before we go off the air, is there anything that you would like our audience to know about this wonderful book?
Well, we do. Again, we want to invite everybody to come visit us at the Young Authors Faire. Mm-hmm. And you'll find the reason, discover why Boris Ate A Thesaurus in the first place. So we're excited to meet everybody. And Barry and I are working on 2 new books. We work with a literary agent in New York City, and we have 2 new books in the works.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to thank both of you for being on our show. And we're going to go out to the Young Authors Faire. And we're definitely going to check you out, and it's going to be very exciting a little later on in the show when we see you actually do some drawing. So, yeah, so that'll be fun. On behalf of Kids Talk Radio, everyone, we've got an exciting event coming up, the Young Authors Faire, and we want to see you there. This is Bob Barboza signing off for Kids Talk Radio. Now, I want you to help me open up the show. We're going to have to interview a few people, and I just want to see if you can handle it. So, here we go.
Welcome to Kids Talk Radio. Which one of you is Neil? I understand that you wrote the book Boris Ate A Thesaurus. When I read your book, I like the part about it be filled with hundreds, no, thousands, maybe millions of words. There were too many words to read. Besides, it was almost time for lunch, and my stomach was growling. I just couldn't stop thinking about those cinnamon buns.
You're on the air.
There you have it.
Well, let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Oh, boy.